I just got done with the first stop, and I'm sweating like a mother. Whew. This is the first time in a while I got done with the unloading before I got even halfway done with the paperwork. I've talked about my trainer before, and I think I may have spoke on him in a negative light, and I don't mean to. I realized that the way he thinks, it requires a certain ignorance, it requires a certain lack of awareness of reality. When he didn't know about, certain issues in dealing with the black community, I kind of knew already right then what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a black man that pretty much cut himself off from reality, and that's what he wants, and that's God bless him. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's a certain beauty in that, and I ain't talking about no gay stuff. I'm not talking about asexual beauty. There's a certain beauty in being a black man. He doesn't have a college degree. He's been successful. He's, I just stay out of trouble for the most part. And now he's a trainer, making pretty good money, I guess. There's a certain beauty in that because he's never really probably went through any kind of real BS. And he said something about how he know racism exists and all that. And it's like we about to switch off with another guy at that point. It doesn't matter what I think. You don't have to agree with me. He doesn't have to agree with me. That ain't the mandate. That ain't the law. You ain't gotta agree with me. You ain't gotta like what I say. I'm fine with that. I live in reality. That's the point I try to make to y'all is I live in reality. That's the world in which I live. I don't live in a world of sleep, being asleep. And I'm sorry, some people don't like that. Some people are bothered by that. I get it. They would rather remain asleep. And I get it. And no matter how I feel about them, that's the way they feel. Cool. But just me talking with him, I realized over time, things he was like example, we went to a station and there was this white man in a red car. I can still remember this shit. This is show you how I am. This shit happened like 2-3 weeks ago. We was at a store in Charlotte and white man in the red car, he was actually on the other side of the trailer and something was just, was like, and he go look, I wouldn't look. He's sitting there looking at us real hard. And I told my trainer was like, oh, well, we ain't doing nothing bad. That ain't the point. And he's from a little town. He's from a little town outside of Rockingham or whatever. So he probably has. One thing about black people in the country is that they live amongst other black people. That's something I learned. For the most, I'm not talking about trailer trash. Black people who are somewhat like minimum, medium, class or whatever, they live amongst themselves. So they don't really, there isn't a whole bunch of stuff that they experience, I don't think. All right, this goes to them. Yeah, they don't really experience the same thing that, I might or you might because they're just not around white people like that. You got, like I said, I'm not talking about trailer trash. That's a different discussion altogether. So he probably hasn't experienced racism and all that. And, that's awesome. I hope his children haven't. I hope his children don't. I hope that he can live his life. It's kind of like my grandfather being able to drive and stuff well into his 90s, his early 90s. Dude, that's awesome, man. Like that shit like that. And I remember my Deacon Wallace was like, hey, we got to do what we can so we can keep driving. Yeah, that's a beautiful thing for you to be getting up in age and still be able to operate and still be able to do what you can, Like, yo, that's cool stuff, man. That's really cool. 3774. That is really cool stuff. So, like I said, I don't mean to speak about hate, to speak from hate about him. that wasn't my intention. I felt like maybe what I was saying, I was frustrated because I wasn't really making any money then. And, you know, I was just kind of frustrated. So, I don't wish that man any harm. I don't wish him any ill will. I hope, like I said, I hope nothing does happen to him. I hope he never does encounter racism. I hope he never encounters Barney Fife. I hope that never happens. I hope he can just keep living his life in a little fairy tale dream world, and you know, I hope that continues. But the world we're living in, that isn't the reality I live in. It isn't the reality that I see. The reality I see is very different. It's very darker. I'm like that guy that was on Contact the other night. I don't really see a good future for America. I think that as America continues to fall apart and become further balkanized, it's just gonna get worse and worse. And you know, they'll be blaming stuff on black people and things like that. That's the future I see as well. I think he's right. That's the future I see as well. And that's sad. It's really sad, y'all. Peace.